Welcome to Level Sync, a Final Fantasy XI podcast with your hosts, DA Soccer, Caladrius, Lost Time Lord, and Quetch.
Welcome everyone to episode 5 of Level Sync, a Horizon Final Fantasy XI podcast. I'm joined today by Quetch.
Yo, what's up, y'all?
LTL.
Hello.
And DA Soccer. What was that?
It's a podcast.
I don't know.
They can't see
know.
you.
I'm dumb. Okay. I've been in
Gil. Like there was this dead 5-second stretch, and
I've been in Gill's bit too long. I'm done with it. I'm done. Everyone else, you're allowed to go back now.
Oh shit.
You were just there. I was there with you.
I almost went. I sent DA a tell the other day, and I was like, "Hey, how does that Gelspa thing work?" I'm like, "I'm level 10 on Summoner. Is it an alliance? Like, what do I do?"
Just walk in the zone, put up your flag, and wait. You'll get hit with a blind invite. 3 up top, 3 down below. That's the best rotation you can have. How'd it go, by the way?
3 down below. I didn't actually go. My buddy and I went out to the dunes because he was like wanting to make a party, and I was like, "I want to try this Gelspa thing." He's like, "I want to go to the dunes." So we went. I got the 13 on Summoner. Basically, it's kind of fun. You summon a thing and you throw it at the mob, and then it punches them, and then you take it back, or you let it melee a little bit.
It's basically Pokemon.
Yeah, you pretty much are going to be sticking with that Ifrit for a long time. That's your most powerful attack for a long time.
Yeah,
He just double punch.
He just doofs.
Yeah.
It's single punch at my level.
Yeah,
He just comes
at
in.
his level, it's single.
He doofs them, and then that's it. You watch the mob's HP go down.
Bidoof?
He doofed him.
Oh,
He bedoofs them.
it was a Pokemon reference. Bidoof. Sorry, I'm a nerd.
Sorry. LTL's like, I don't watch that crap or play it.
No,
Back in my day,
I don't know what you kids are talking about with these Pokemans.
you bold man.
I'm so bold.
He's a very bold man.
Crybaby bold man.
So it's been a couple of weeks since we all got together, right? So I have had an extremely eventful couple of weeks. LTL will be proud, and so will Quetch. I am 1 mission from Sky Access. Finally.
Damn.
I procrastinated. I did 5 through 12 yesterday.
I would have been proud if you had actually gotten Sky Access, but I
Well,
applaud
everybody
the
got
effort.
The unapproving father.
Everybody got off. Isn't that kind of like
I heard it.
That's the end goal. That's the end goal. Everybody got off. It's like
Not in a good way.
hand jobs for everyone. Like what?
No, we got to that mission. Everybody's like, it's like 2 a.m. I gotta get off. So everybody hopped off. We're gonna do it again next Monday and finish that one.
Isn't the
And
last
keep
thing just
going.
going and killing the pot? Like
Yes,
isn't
it
that
is the pot and El Tapa.
Oh,
That is
you're
where I'm
right
at.
there, man. You get some
Yeah.
people together, you go knock it out. If not everybody's there, screw them.
Go get that pot off, baby.
We killed Diablos. That was amazingly easier than I remembered it being. Like, really, really easy. So that puts us on what, COP 4? 5? What is Diablos?
I think Diablo's
Diablos
3.
is 3-5,
Yeah,
I think.
that's it. Yep.
Yeah, so it puts us on 4. So we did all of that. We did all that just yesterday.
Only 8,000 more quests to go, and you'll have C access.
That's what I told them. They're like, we're doing 1 set of quests a week. I'm like, shit, it'll be 2 years before we finish COP at this point.
That's
Yeah.
how we were too. Yeah, we squeezed in like an extra day in between here and there, and it really kind of kicked the progress a bit. But
Well, inevitably, you're going to hit 3 paths, which takes forever anyway.
yeah,
But that was just yesterday's events. I helped a bunch of people with AF again. Like, DA asked me, he's like, how many sets of AF have you gotten for people? And I'm like, 20-ish sets
20.
of AF.
20 sets.
I mean,
my goodness.
it wouldn't have been all 5 pieces. You're just talking about the AF coffer pieces.
Oh, no, I'm
right,
actually
right?
going with them and farming the coffer keys and helping them find the chests. And I'm a nice guy, LT.
Yeah, you should spend that time doing other things like leveling.
I could have been said, I can't level till I have Sky. Because nobody wants to do anything but Sky
That's
parties.
true.
That's
I've
true.
noticed that.
yeah. The Boyata is a nice little bridge there too. But I definitely had a mix of those. Like it was like 2/3 Sky and like 1/3 Boyata through that stretch.
Yeah, every party I get's like, Sky party? Question mark. I'm like, I don't have it. And I just sit there sad. So I started leveling Bard because it's only 18 now. 19, almost 20.
Okay.
So
Why the
that's
Bard
bridging my
transition?
time. That was one of my 3 planned 75s anyway.
Okay.
So
Well, what's
Paladin
the
was supposed to be
third?
Dragoon.
Oh, okay.
You're OG.
So yeah, my original job. So Paladin was supposed to be the first 75, Bard's the second one, and then Dragoon is kind of like a side project. Third, because I figure if I have a tank,
Yep.
buffing class, and a DD, I can pretty much swap between whatever anybody needs, except for a healer, because I'm a Galka and nobody wants a Galka healer.
Oh, you said it's gonna be your second 75? You hit 75 on Paladin?
No, I'm 66. I said it's supposed to be my second 75.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you've almost caught up to me on Warrior, because I, again, died at 66 and haven't gotten a party.
You've been crushing on a warrior, ADA. I'll like look you up every couple of days and be like, he's like 5 levels higher.
I'll go hard for a hot little bit, and then I'll take a nice, relaxing breather on the beaches, clamming. But I now have 376 levels. I got my warrior from the first, I think episode 3 was the last time we did kind of a recap of where we're at. I was 48 at the time. I'm 62 now. I still got 2 charges on my ring ready to go this week, so I'll probably hit about 64 at some point in time here soon. I went 5 for 5 now on my AF, which I love wearing my body AF around Cal, because my body alone has more enmity on it than his entire gear set on Paladin. So that's pretty nice with the 8 on there. I think it comes with a full 15 for the full set. So I love just rubbing it in his face. But actually, recently, I'll go hard on war, but then I'll switch over to clamming. There was no information, no data on clamming whatsoever. I even went to like YouTube, looked up videos on it. No videos, no walkthroughs, no guides. It's just go out there and dig. And I'm like, man, this really has to suck. But they said they changed numbers. Let me go out and check it out. And I did the whole wiki page and posted all my numbers on the Wiki Horizon page as well. I think if you go nonstop and go hard, you can make about 400 gil per minute doing clamming on average. But
Wow.
that's nonstop.
Are you the clam jammer?
I'm the clampion.
Oh, the clampion. Nice.
I'm the clampion. But it was, I spent, I'd say 16 hours recording data and information of all of it out there. Total claiming time frame was 6 hours and 40 minutes of that. And I broke it all down with all the stats and numbers. But I did finish the wiki page and put it up on there, and I'm very proud of it. But besides clamming, focusing on war, I do need to continue with my progression.
Hold on. You measured your gil per minute?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard anybody refer to their gil their income as gil per minute.
There's 8 nodes of clamming. 2 of them are either deactivated or broken. One of them's 17 seconds from the NPC you start clamming at. The other one's a minute 21 seconds away when you just flat out straight line run. And with those 2 either broken or turned off, the closest node is a minute 33 run. So minute 33 there, minute 33 back, not counting the clamming, minimum 10 seconds in between each clam, average of 7 per bucket on there. I did the full math for the almost 7 hours and broke it down with the math in the files that I posted online. I put my Google Doc on there and everything. So it's a pain in the ass.
24,000 gil an hour?
That's, on average. 400 gil a minute. But it spikes hard. You get an Oxblood 13250 for Gill NPC right there on the beach. You get a Tropical Clam that's 5,100 Gil right there on the beach, and those are NPC prices. Some of the prices are better, like not clam. Wow, oh my god. There's a shell shells NPC for 307 a piece.
Right.
But in the auction house, they're 9 to 10k a stack, so it's almost 3 times the price in the AH, whether or not how quickly they sell.
Do they sell though?
They do, just not very fast. Maybe a couple stacks a day. But how many people stack shells? Not very many. So
only the bearded clampion.
I didn't see a single person in the 2 days I was out there nonstop.
You
I didn't
found
see
your
a single
niche,
person.
man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take my mule out there. I made. It's called what is LTL? Help me. What's the name of my mule that I made?
Dancer Sucks, I think.
Oh no, that's right. It was Nerf Blue Mage. I made a mule.
I knew I was close. I knew I was close.
I'm going to log him out on the beaches out there, and after expanding his inventory and just downtime, run back and forth, and clam, I think. I'm going to get some more data on it.
I want to point out, he did all this data and research, and then one of our Link Shell mates, Crudagon, went out there and blew his numbers out of the water.
He got
Like,
2 ox
instantly
bloods and
made it.
3 clams in the first hour and a half, and he's like, "This is feeding my addiction for gambling." I was like, "No, no." It's basically blackjack. That's all it is.
It's literally blackjack.
It sounds like a giant waste of time. Is what it sounds like. I mean,
I don't like
I-
fishing mini games. I don't like
Yeah.
competing with people to log. If I know the note is there, I have no competition, and it's just a nice simple jog with great scenery because that island is beautiful on there. Just running back and forth, taking my time and relaxing.
Yeah, no,
And nobody else has the numbers, so I might as well do it.
LTL's like, I hear you, but I made 10 times that off one drop a little while ago.
Sure,
But
that's true.
No,
We had-
I don't. I don't. Unfortunately, I don't make that much. The only thing that really makes me money these days is we do a dynamis like outside of our link shell on Tuesdays. We have a group we go with. We just went today. We go with like 24 people, and we buy in. So it's like 55K per person to get in. And then so last time, like today was not a good example because we did quiff them, and those Dreamlands Dynamics don't return a ton of currency. And we had a really bad day today, no 100s. But anyways, last time we ran Zark, and I got like 40 something currencies, and they're selling for like 4.5K right now. So my 55K that I spent like netted me like 120K profit.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's really all I can do these days. And between that and fucking Limbus, your boy's gonna be dead broke like any day now. 50K for soap,
Yeah,
55K to get into my Dynamis. Oh, it's so dumb.
Not
it just
clamming,
bleeds
sir.
you. We had a
So,
Zark run with 100 pieces as well. Well, our Zark run,
Really?
sorry, our Zark run had 0. Yeah, it was really weird. It was a
Wow.
good AF drop run, but
Mhm.
the just no 100 pieces. It was really strange. Like we were like 2.5 hours deep. Like somebody's like, "Did we get 100 piece?" Everybody else was like, "No." Like, okay.
Yeah, it was crazy because today in Dynamis, for the first time I think ever, we had a full treasure pool and every piece in there was gear, like
Oh, I've
without
not seen
any
that.
like. Yeah, I've
Wow.
never seen that before. Like because it holds 10, right? So like it had 10 pieces of gear, like a couple of -1s, some of the accessories, because the Dreamlands drop accessories like the Summoner's Cape and the Thief's Cape and stuff like that. But it was all gear. I almost wanted to screenshot it just to be like, what the fuck? Like I'd never seen that before. But yeah, the currency, we had 19 people and we each wound up with 16 pieces of currency at the end, which is no
It's a little
bueno.
low.
Yeah, it barely covers the cost of entry.
We're doing our first Dreamlands Dynamis on Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to it.
Which one are you going to?
I'd have to check. I think we might be doing Boo Boo. I think Boo Boo was brought up because it's the easier of the
It's
three,
the
I've been told.
easiest.
Yeah.
It is the easiest. Yeah,
Or-
yeah, yeah.
So I believe that's where we're going. I haven't looked up what drops there. Honestly, I'm really just in it for the content. It'd obviously would be nice to get the Thief Cape at some point. Don't know where that is, or the I don't know what
That we
-1 piece is.
We saw several Thieves' Capes today in Quiffham.
Okay.
It was like to the point where it was almost annoying how often they were dropping.
Well,
And the
There's
-1 piece from there is the pants for AF, which is useless. Like you would never upgrade, or you would never upgrade your relic pants. Like
yeah,
for a
that's,
thief, like why would you ever do that? It's stupid.
they're like 4 agi and Gill Finder. Normally, they're probably 5 agi. That's probably it.
It's useless. Like I
Yeah.
got the -1 summoner boots today. Like the boots are a pretty powerful piece of any summoner's arsenal, the relic boots. But the -1, it's like the only thing it adds is like +3 enmity for your avatar, and it's like, ooh boy, oh boy. Like I don't know why I would ever need more enmity for my avatar. It's not like I'm up there beating it with my merc pole, like fucking getting aggro off of my avatar. Or
Sounded
anything.
so dirty.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'm beating with my pole.
It hits 2 to 5 times.
Yeah, with my mushroom-headed rod, I'll do it. I ain't scared.
So yeah, I mean, freaking Eric last week. We didn't have a chance to say thank you to Eric here, did we? Did we say anything this episode yet?
No,
No.
we haven't.
No. For coming, like it really rocked. Really, really cool to be able to ask questions as members of the community. So Big thanks to him for that. Something I wanted to talk about last week, but we didn't do like this little recap session. Is it's just a couple of small adventures I've had on H&M stuff. So I managed to get a Behemoth solo claim a couple weeks ago. When so we're all there in Qufim, and there's these maps going around of like where the general spots are for the H&M for Behemoth spawns, for example. And we're I'm camped there with a couple of other people, and there's a message that pops up, and it's like the Behemoth has spawned. So I have Flea on, as a thief, you pop Flea before window. That's kind of the meta there. And we had people at each and every of the spots that we were aware of that he could spawn, and we're all in comms on voice, and it's like, he's not here. Well, he's not here. And I'm like, okay, he's got to be somewhere else. And just immediately turned around and started fleeing in the other direction. And I came up to an unclaimed Behemoth just sitting like 20 seconds after it had popped.
Just out of curiosity, I mean,
Yeah.
where was that? Like, where on the map did you happen to find it? I mean, I'm just purely curious.
It was a different direction from where I had started.
Okay, that helps.
Yeah. And so I slapped him with provoke, and immediately claimed, because I guess if they've been up long enough, the claim shield isn't there any longer. And luckily I was there with a summoner friend who suck his pet.
He sucked his pet.
He sucked
went ahead and that's a special move that summoners get on Horizon, is the suck ability. Wait, I'll tell you what, guys. When you got Titan out and you use the suck ability, especially when you're a Taru, it is not a show that anyone wants to see. I promise.
Oh my god, is that the Beast loyalty they took away from Beastmaster?
Yeah, it's loyalty of a different kind. Yeah, sorry.
Holy shit!
They used sick on Behemoth.
Okay.
Which
it's
put
actually assault, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Sick is Beastmaster. See, I don't know. Level 13 summoner. What do I know? They assaulted the Behemoth and got aggro off of me, and then kited it over to the rest of the group who was a little bit further away, and we got a kill. So that was fun. One of the fun moments in this claim system.
That's cool. Like, I have a similar story. I don't remember exactly what day. It was probably a week or more ago. We were at Circuit. For those that don't know, Circuit is the giant scorpion that spawns in the bottom of Garelage Citadel. And I went out there last window because I was doing something else, and I teleported out there because I was waiting for other people so we could do something. And one of the guys was like, "Come on out, it's last. You'll make it for last window." So I made it out for last window. Didn't get invited into the alliance, and told everybody like, "Okay, I'm here. I'm just gonna go to the normal spot that I go to, but I'm by myself." And fucking Circuit spawns. Lil Carby, I didn't use suck on him, but Lil Carby, fucking, I use him and he claims Circuit, and I'm solo, and I'm like in Lake Shell. I'm like, me, and they're like, what a fucking Chad, like, you got the solo claim, like, it was a pretty gratifying moment. And then not only did I get the solo claim, but he full drops, ring, shields, venomous claw, everything.
Nice.
It was pretty nice.
You went full caveman. Me drop. Me claim. Carby. Assault.
Well, the
No
funny
suck.
thing is,
Assault.
no suck. Funny thing is that he wasn't even really hurting Carby, and Carby's my weakest, summon, and he's sitting there pounding on Carby after I use. He was hitting Carby, and he wasn't really doing much damage to him, so I had plenty of time for because it's just one big room, so it's not like people had to run across a zone. So everybody they got me in the alliance, and everybody conglomerated, and we kill him. But it was pretty exciting. It was my 3 moments of fame. Yay! I got the solo claim outside of the alliance.
You just reminded me. We had a pet to survive something. We were doing Omega last week, and so Omega has this thing where to do pile pitch. It's it brings you to 10% of your health. And it had pile pitched enough people that the person at the top of the hate list was Lullaby Melodia from a Beastmaster. So it turns around and pile pitches Lullaby Melodia for 8k damage.
Wow.
And Melodia's just sitting there like pecking at it like.
That didn't kill it?
No.
How the hell does that sheep have more than 8k health? What the actual
That's what we
fuck?
said.
Dear Eric, I need like WTF, Nerf Beast.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's tank buster and it's just sitting there still hitting it. Like,
Just shrugged it off, man.
Nerf Beast. You're gonna trigger the comment section.
Yeah, right. We did Ultima last night. For my group's first time, and what a trip that was, because it's pretty much just like a Zerg fest. It's like get them close to 20% and then just go fucking ham or you're done. And we killed him, and he actually dropped like 3 pieces. So
Wow.
we got 3 pieces of loot from it. We got the Nashira hat, body, and feet. And your boy got the feet for the +5 summoning skill. So
Dude,
pretty
rock
excited about
on.
that.
Yeah, that's the summoner
congrats.
piece, right?
Nice.
Well, there's that and the gloves, which is minus perpetuation cost, which
Okay.
would be nice to have as well. Once I get those, then because right now, as it stands with the gear, I don't even have a light staff. But as it stands right now, I can have Carby out for free, but I won't refresh mana. If I have those gloves, I will actually start to refresh mana by having them out. So, or if I just get a fucking light staff. But I'm broke. The aforementioned Limbus and Dynamis are keeping me into powerhouse.
Sounds like somebody needs to go clamming.
I can't wait. I'm writing out my fucking plan right now. I'm gonna pull out Carby. I'm gonna use Suck, and then I'm gonna clam my brains out.
If they do the Sunbreeze Festival where they're coming out with the outfits and such that actually has the clamming stuff on it, I'm gonna have to redo all my testing to see what the actual improvement rate is on it. So that's why I wanted to do this prior. But yeah, man,
Document it for science.
You're doing a service for the community, DA, and everyone's real happy and real proud, I'm sure.
Servicing the community one clam at a time.
Both people that clam on the server are going to be super excited for your data.
It's me and Nerf Blue Mage. That's it.
Yeah, it's you and somebody else.
That's not true, because in the comment section of, I think, episode 1.1, the 1.1 episode, was that 3? There's 2 people in there talking about clamming.
Oh, I was one of those 2.
Legitimately clam.
geez.
No, there's another one.
There's he mentioned clamming and all that. And I was like, man, I have to get into it. He's like, it's not as profitable as it used to be, and that's when I was interested in trying to look up info. He's the one that person is the one that triggered me to let's get the data and details on this. Let's dive into it. Let's go head first into this clam.
I love diving head first into some clam.
What an episode!
This episode has gone downhill quickly.
Yeah, seriously, we have reached a new low, friends.
We're not being supervised.
I need an adult.
The clammy depths is where we've gone.
We need an adult here, adult than we are.
Progress wise, I'm on COP 2.4. I'm getting ready to come up to the Mammoth Fight. ZM5 did getting ready to do the headstones. But I did do the Temple of Uglapeth right before ZM5. I think it was ZM4, and I knew that was kind of a pain with being able to do not just the fight, but getting down to the dungeon and lighting the lanterns and such like that. I was just in Juneau following my Galka, AFK, with a flag up looking for a party. And all of a sudden I see a party shout, need DD for ZM4, Temple of Uglapeth or whatever. And it was like 2 Beastmasters, Paladin, Bard, and White Mage. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll go. That sounds perfect. 2 Beastmasters? Yes, please, right here. And
did
so
your Paladin get throat stabbed?
Yeah, he got wrecked. And then I was like, there's only one left. And I was like hitting him and everything. And then Astral Flow, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about these actually hurt. And
we got wiped by that one.
Yeah.
Our first time.
I ended up dying. We had 2 people left. They ended up winning the fight. We zone out. I fall. I'm standing up when I zone out. I was like, is this a glitch? Cutscene happens. Then I fall over dead. I was like, okay, there we go. Just home point.
Count it.
And
Could you imagine how awkward the cutscene would be if you were just like laying there dead throughout the cutscene? It's like, DA Soccer, thank you for all of your help, and you're just like you're like face down, ass up, just like eating
a single thumbs up from your corpse.
Yeah, it's like this. Yeah. That'd be great.
So
The
no,
little subtitles, just gurgling noises.
but yeah, I'm still way behind everyone else. But again, taking my time with it on there. I fully embraced the warrior. I've gotten off the paladin bandwagon, kind of like our mainstream paladin has gotten on the bard recently. So
But I didn't fall off the paladin bandwagon.
Yeah, you did,
I'm
because
just
you're like,
taking a
I need to
reprieve.
have Sky in order to XP. I didn't have Sky. I got to 75.
nobody had
Well,
Sky.
now nobody else wants to do it unless it's Sky parties.
Then put together a party of your own.
I'm a paladin. I'm a prima donna. I don't build my own party.
Yeah, well, how's that working out for you?
I'm high enough to do dynamis now. That's about as good as I've got.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of your Tomberry fight, DA, I had to do that fight twice, not because we actually failed the first time, but because we went back and took Soren through that same fight.
Yeah.
The first time, I'm the only person that died because I got throat stabbed and immediately astro flowed after the throat
Oh,
stab.
damn.
Delicious.
Yeah, I survived the throat stab. It was the astro flow that made it bad.
You talked about that
Second
on one of the
time,
other episodes. Yeah.
Everyone else died because they got too close and it astral flowed and wiped everyone but me and one other person.
Damn.
It was a great time. That was a fun fight.
I still got plenty of stories to come because again, I'm still way behind on everything. I'll be working on it. I've been focusing on those levels recently. Next limit break. I've already got the limit break ready to go for next up is Matt. So I'll let you know how many times I lose to that.
You won't.
Okay. We'll see.
You won't. It's
It's
really
so far.
rare to
I only know
lose.
one person.
That's
You only know
lost.
one person that lost to Matt?
Yes.
Who
Yeah,
was
Dead
it?
Plaything lost to Matt.
Did they go in
on
early?
Eve. No, he tried to steal from Matt and he was 66, so he was early.
Okay.
And he tried to just steal to win because that's the thief tactic, right?
Yeah, that's how you win, yeah.
Yeah, Matt, it didn't work out, and Matt turned and critted him for like 129, 196, 144, 100, and triple attacked on him, just wiped him completely.
Damn.
Wow.
Everyone's done it on Paladin, like LTL said. Everybody else I know, it was a one shot. It was easy.
I'm even more fearful now because knowing me, I'm going to be the one to fail.
Actually,
we'll get there. We'll get there.
I had a buddy failed on Bard. I think he had gone in with the wrong songs and like slightly wrong tactic and like took too long to build TP. He built like 3K when he didn't need to or something along those lines. So he kind of timed out. He would have had it had he not like built TP. What is that? Is that the Oppo necklace? What is that?
Oppo necklace,
Yeah.
and then you use sleep potions to build TP.
Yeah. He would have had it. So it was just like a slight strategy error, and it just cost like enough seconds that he couldn't get the win.
That would be frustrating. Like, super frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, since we last met, I've had a couple of things. We've been trying to get black belt for my buddy. We did KS99 Behemoth and did great. It was a really fun fight. A lot of like kiting and then taking time to skill chain and nuke and stuff like that. We got him down a few times, got that. But then we went and tried the turtle, and we didn't win. It's 99k seals in the toilet.
If you guys don't know, if you're not familiar with Adamantoise or Aspidoshalon, the way that it works is you do damage to him because he's a turtle, and you do like when his head is out of his shell, you do damage to him, and it's like pretty normal damage. And then like Mr. Turtle goes inside of his shell, and then he starts to regen health. So you have to like hit him real hard and get like enough damage so that he pops back out of his shell. So kind of like the strategy is to skill chain and burst the shit out of him when he's out of his shell, and then spirits within while he's in the shell. You have a bunch of melee doing spirits within because that ignores defense, and that's hopefully enough to bring him out of his shell. So that was why I asked if he was unable to do the upfront damage to get him back out, and that's what he was referring to. Sorry, Quetch.
No, it's okay because I think I might have learned a little something there. So we only had 4 black mages, and we had a bunch of melee because it's just kind of like who showed up that day. So what we had done was thrown End Thunder with Ramu onto the melees to kind of keep damage rolling, and that was pretty effective. But we had also magic bursted during the in-shell phase to try to burst them out of it.
Well, you can do that too, and that's
okay.
that's another appropriate strategy. Like
Okay.
you go black mage heavy and you burst them in the shell to help get it out. But Spirits Within is a good helper if you have a bunch of melee to help get him out of his shell as well.
We
That's why you,
did-
like have the melee get to 3,000 TP outside of the fight. Like don't TP on them, and then they come in and do it.
Okay. I would say also we didn't have a lot of sword users as melee. There was like 3 thieves, I think, because again, that's who showed up for that day, and we needed help. We were going to give it a shot. So I think with a little bit of regrouping and maybe one extra black mage, we'll be able to get the win and get my buddy his black belt. I've got an orb sitting. Potentially drop Strider boots too, so I'm kind of crossing my fingers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask is like, what are the other things that it drops? Like in Striders, yeah, that makes sense. I
And
mean, it
that's-
doesn't make sense, but it's good that they do.
Right, and for me, that's like if it's a shot at it, and it's a shot at helping him with his black belt. But I don't know. It could have like D-Ingot or something. I don't know.
I think it
Not
drops
really
the
sure.
Divine Logs, I think.
That'd be another good drop. Make a little money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
A little, just a little more than DA made clamming.
It's certainly a higher return on investment.
I
of
got
time.
8 petrified logs. Excuse me,
Yeah.
sir.
Those way up to divine logs real good.
Yeah, I'll tell you, farming those KS was not good for my time. I spent so much hours in Kuftal solo farming crabs, so the return is probably not as good if I get a D-Log. But yeah, at least it's something to do.
Nice.
Something to do between all of yours and LTL's in-game shenanigans while DA clams and I level Bard.
That's good. We're all over
The
the
world
place.
needs bards.
Does it though?
Cow.
Does it?
Bards
So
are good.
do
They
you-
can do that horde lullaby. They got that mazurka.
I'll sub thief and put TH on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But DA brought up before an idea for some topics for us to go over, which
Mhm.
was everyone always remembers their first. So essentially,
I was in
you
high
remember your
school,
first.
and she was my girlfriend at the time. And we were in my room at my parents' house downstairs, and she was on top. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
And then he was like,
Damn.
Carbuncle, go.
I was like, and then I used suck on Carbuncle, and it was
this
over.
podcast.
It
It's
was over
over.
much quicker.
You know, with
And
the way
she
this
promptly
podcast
left.
started, this is really appropriate right now.
It is. Yeah.
But since it was DA's idea that he tossed around,
Oh, you're gonna make me
Mr.
go
DA,
first.
you can go first.
Oh, I got 2 stories. I got 2 stories in my firsts, and these are these will always hold true. But I'm going to start with since we're talking about Sky, we're talking about doing in-game stuff. You know, obviously I'm not there yet, but I remember finally getting 75 and finally completing all my stories and everything. And I get up into Sky, and a friend of mine, and this was back 2006, 2007. A friend of mine was like, "Hey, join this link shell with me. We're doing Sky Gods. Yes, of course, you're going to be kind of bottom of the totem pole, but there's a lot of stuff that we don't need anymore. So we're just kind of killing it for Kieran pop sets." And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we end up, and I can't remember if it was the bird or the dragon, but we get in there and they're like, okay, for this, you just attack. And when it does its 2-hour, and I couldn't remember what it was, you disengage, and then we bind it and step back. So what?
It was
Suzaku
either
or Byakko.
it was either 100 Fists or Chain Spell.
It was
He
one
said
or the other.
Bird or the Dragon. It was Suzaku or Seiryu.
Yeah, one of those. I can't remember. So I was like, okay, so all I need to do is just hit it to the best of my ability, disengage, step back. And they were like, yeah, it was my very first Sky God. So when it popped up, I saw it. I was like, oh my God, my heart's racing. I'm on the Xbox 360 and I'm just wailing away on it. And then you see in party chat, just disengage. So I hit the disengage and I step back and I'm waiting and I'm like, why are people still attacking it? What's going on? What's happening here? I don't. And then I see it's red to gold. Its name turned gold or yellow, and somebody called for help on it. And I was like, oh my God, somebody called for help. There's no drops that are going to happen on this. I can't believe it. Who is the fucking moron who called for help? I looked down. It was me. It was my very first Sky God that I've ever killed, ever. And I called for help instead of disengaging because I was so eager to go down on my controller and then hit disengage. I must have pushed it a little to the left or the right because it was on that disengage for the call for help on there. And I called for help, nullified everyone's drops. They did not kick me from the shell. They gave me another opportunity, but I was not allowed to lot anything for a long period of time. But that was my very first Sky experience, period. It was like my first day in Sky, and I shit the bed.
What job were you up there on?
I was on War.
Good.
Yeah.
Dude, that disengage and call for help button being the same thing has been trolling people since the game's inception.
I was like, what idiot? Who did it? Oh my god, what a noob. I was talking all this crap, and I looked down and it was me. And I've never felt my heart sink so fast. I wanted to walk over and just turn off my 360 and go to bed. I was so distraught. I will never forget that. Oh, that's my first.
Wanted to walk up to your Xbox, do a 360, and walk away. That's the meme, right? Isn't that the meme?
It was a meme. Yes.
It was a meme, yes. Yes. As a matter of fact,
was.
yes, it was a meme.
Historically,
Historically speaking, I
Let
have
me-
heard that before.
let me dust off this tome of memes.
Back in the day.
You bold man, you.
So bold. So bold.
So someone else, I need to stop thinking about this. Someone else go. Tell me your first story. Tell me what comes to your mind when you think of the first in Final Fantasy.
I got one that falls in line with yours. That's
God.
pretty entertaining.
Yeah, help me forget
So
mine.
we were in Abyssia. We were farming a Thieling Mantles for everybody, right?
Mhm.
And as you know, that's a 3-part pop set. You have to go kill this, kill this, kill this, get 3 pop items, and pop. I forgot what the NM was, to be honest. Well, you farm, kill, get it, pop the NM. So you have to proc it, right? It's a bit Abyssia. You gotta do all your procs, make sure all your drops are in order, right? So we get it down to 8%. I think it's like the 4th time we had killed it because we had all farmed pop sets for it. We get to about 8%, 6%, 4%, and then my buddy falls asleep. It's the first time we'd ever farmed this, right? He falls asleep kind of like this, and then he falls forward, and some combination he hit on his keyboard called for help on somebody else's pop item. And just, I mean, it happened so fast that he called for help and it died. Like, it was literally in the last, like, 2% of its health.
Wow.
Did you see him fall asleep, or did he just tell you he fell asleep because he
Well, we
didn't
heard
like
a
whoever he
thud.
was with? Oh,
So
okay.
it was-
Yeah.
it was him, like,
He hit the desk.
sliding off his hands and hitting the desk, right?
I wonder what the
But I don't
keystroke
play
is for
on
that.
keyboard so I don't know how valid that is, right?
I think there is. It's like
but the
I think
guy-
control something. I think is call for help. Control C.
Really?
No, I'd have to look it up anyway.
I don't know. I don't call for help. I just die. But he does all that. It dies. The guy whose pop item it was completely rages. This is back on Xbox 360, so we're all sitting in an Xbox party chat, right?
Yeah.
Talking. He completely rages, and you just hear him turn off his Xbox and go to bed. Like, he was so pissed off. And then we continue. We're like, okay, we got 2 more pops anyway. This guy had already obviously lost his pop set, right? We continue farming this in him. And one of the guys is like, hey, I need to AFK real quick. My girlfriend wants me for something. This falls in line with the theme of this horrible fucking episode, by the way.
Oh God.
So she wanted something, described by LTL earlier. And so he comes back in the room, forgets it's not his pop set, and sees an Athenian mantle drop, and then proceeds to lot on it and win, and then leave.
Is it 100% drop rate from the
No.
pop? Oh,
So,
Wow.
so he lots on it and bounces, and that was another guy's pop item.
Wow.
Keep in mind, this is the first time. This is why this is the first time we ever farmed Athenian mantles, right?
this is
So
the
to
same
this
event.
day- yeah, same event.
Okay.
Like maybe 1 kill after that one. To this day, I'm still friends with the guy that did that. He was in my wedding and everything.
Oh.
And we still
Toxic.
refer to it as getting a Thieling mantle.
Oh.
Anytime.
Wow.
So it falls in line with yours, DA.
Did you name drop him? Do I know him?
Oh yeah, he's in the link show. It's Arakasa.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You just
Alright.
seriously called that dude out. Like, if
I've
the
known him
dude
for
that
20
happened
years.
to, if the dude who that happened to is watching our podcast, he's gonna come get that. He's gonna get his revenge.
It's fine because he doesn't know. It's a different name. It's fine.
Yeah, he's fine that you called him out. It's just everyone Horizon will B-list him now, knowing that he ninja lots shit.
It was not an intentional one.
Uh-huh.
But it was
Right.
freaking funny.
So I've got something
What's up?
for firsts. My first link shell.
Oh.
So this is PS2 era when I was playing back in the day when memes were created.
Mm.
I forget, I was doing something and there was this ninja who helped me. They were like there at the time, and afterwards they'd give me a pearl. I was a red mage anyway, so like you see a red mage needs help, you see they don't have a link shell, you're like, yeah, I'll invite you because you might come to play support for something in the future. And so the name of that link shell, I'll actually save that. So that player, like, eventually that's the dude who like tanked my Charybdis for my joy use like later on. Like these are the people like I played with through like my progression phase on red mage, my first 75. And there was some really cool people in that shell. We played together. It was like my bridge shell between like doing like real things in the game, and then like I eventually left and joined like an end game shell, like an H and MLS and stuff like that. So this was like I basically stuck with them all the way up until that phase of playing the game. And so he was a ninja, and there was like I knew there was like the first thief that I had seen really like doing stuff, in like group settings and stuff like that was in there as well. So the name of the shell was In the Shadows, and I found out years later, like literal years later, that was a how do I put this, like a ninja themed, like a stealth themed link shell. Like that's who he tried to recruit. He tried to recruit people who played like thieves and ninjas and stuff like that. The reason I found this out later is because when I wanted to return to FF11 retail in 2017, one of the first things I did was post a Reddit post. Is anybody on this server? Because I came back, the servers merged, right? So, now I'm on a new server. I'm on Odin, and I made a Reddit post that's like, is anybody from the old? Does anybody remember Efreet server? I'm on Odin now. Obviously, I'm back to the game. Just seeing who it is. And somebody replied that was in that shell, my first shell. Not necessarily somebody I did like true end game with or anything like that. And I was like, hey, cool. Could toss me a pearl. They had a small shell of just like a small friend group that they did stuff with, but they tossed me a pearl. So come to find out that two of the people that were in ITS were married. They had met like back in the day when I was like leveling my red mage to 75, ended up getting married IRL, and they were still like playing occasionally on retail like all these years later. And it was just for me, such a surreal experience. Again, so it's like my first link shell, but then like my first time back to retail, like after 12 years or whatever it was. And it's just like, I don't know, again, it was a really surreal experience of like re-meeting these people I knew back in the day, and then to find out like that's just what had gone on IRL with them. So it's really cool. Do you guys remember your first link shells? Is that something that's sat with you all these years?
I do. I remember the name of my first link shell and the link shell leader. It was World Slayers, and the leader's name is Slain, and I think he still plays on Azura, if I'm not mistaken. But I was a little baby level 35 when they recruited me in, and they were an in-game shell, and they were like, look at the little baby. We're going to take you with us. And they helped me a lot. Like, I knew nothing. I was like 14 when I started playing. But I remember those because I remember everybody from that shell.
Did you guys slay worlds?
They did. I was in the level 35. They were better than me.
You're the kid on the leash.
There was literally a guy named Odd Dragon, AUDD, right? Odd Dragon. And then he literally helped me with everything. Like anything that I was like, I don't know how to do this, he'd come out and help me with it and do things. And I've tried to find that guy for years and never been able to find him anywhere.
Anybody else have any firsts that came to mind? I have listed here. I have. Oh, you know what? Maybe we can talk a little bit about our first week in Horizon. Does anybody remember what that was like for them?
Missed opening day. I missed opening day. I think I was in I don't know where I was, but I just flat out missed that opening day, and I was very upset about it because I did the beta. And by the way, going back to a couple episodes, beta test reward, I got a Gobu eating a Mandragore. I was hoping for a shirt, but yeah, I thought I didn't bring that up. I said I would come back after I found out what my reward was, but no. Just everybody in West Rodfar and everybody competing for that's all I remember from my first week.
For the individual mobs.
Yeah. Thank God for those double pops. Thank God for those double pops. Otherwise, it would have been more of a frustrating situation.
Yeah, I was on Thief and hadn't found a ranged weapon yet, so I was like melee trying to run up to things, and before I'd get there, it would just get claimed. And there's like a long series of clips where I'm just like running at mobs for 10 minutes straight and not getting any claims. Cal, you missed the actual first week, right?
Yeah, I came in the week before they got rid of the extra mobs. I think that's about a month in, somewhere around there.
Yep.
They got rid of all the extra mobs. And actually, in my first week, I was running around in East Round Fair and ran into DA. That's how I met DA. He was just running around, and I looked at his bizarre comment, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I Twitch stream." So I went and pulled up his Twitch stream and joined his link show.
Oh, it all started. A big man finds me in the woods and joins up with me.
Yeah, I was standing behind a tree like that Shaq meme, just leaning out.
I have a clip from the first week, though. I'm on a hillside fighting an orc in West Roundfar, and I'm just sitting there waylaying, and in the distance behind me, you can see a Hume noob running. And then you see an orc chasing her. And I'm like, oh man, that orc's gonna get her. And the orc stops and she keeps running. And then he winds up one of the aerial things or whatever. And he just
Aerial wheel.
hums. Yeah, aerial wheel. Hums it at her. It flies, hits her in the back of the head. She drops dead and slides on the ground. And I died laughing. I got that clip saved on there, but that is a great clip.
Yeah, that
First
first
week was just being a red mage. Like I wasn't on the first week. I think I mentioned this in like our first episode. I originally wasn't going to play, but then the girlfriend talked me into it, and I started off as red mage because you have slim pickings at the beginning. So I went with the most obnoxiously expensive class to go with at that early level next to black mage, and went to red mage to 32. And it was 30 because you have to do that to unlock advanced jobs. But I always knew I wanted to be a summoner, and the only reason my red mage is 32 is because I churned out 2 levels in the dunes, killing leeches by myself to get that fucking ruby.
Oh, like 30 to 32?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Solo in the dunes by the outpost.
Nobody would help you?
I didn't ask. I just did it. You know what I mean? Like it was my own mission. And I did it. Cal, is that a puppo behind you?
It is a puppy.
Hi, puppo.
Danny, come here.
Oh, what a sweet boy. Oh, I love
Hey,
puppos.
buddy.
That's my Humane Society adoptee.
Aw.
We
I got one more. Oh, go ahead.
we got a cat yesterday for the house.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
Name?
Very nice.
Well, it was Oakley in the shelter. He's a 2-year-old. And we named him Professor Oak.
Nice.
Goes back to our Bidoof joke. Yeah.
Good thing cats don't give a shit what you name them. They're just like, yeah, whatever, human. Like dogs, like they care. Cats is like whatever.
Yeah, that's why mine's named Danny, because when we got her from the Humane Society, she was named Danica.
Patrick.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. I got one more story I'd like to be able to share. It's my first NM drop in Final Fantasy, not in Horizon, because I haven't had one of those in Horizon yet, because I haven't camped NMs. But my first NM drop, as before, I was all about leveling. I didn't care about any of the stories or missions. And my friend Drixel, he was all about, hey man, we need to get some of this gear. You really need some bounding boots. I was like, I don't care about thief. I'm on warrior. I'm taking it all the way up. He's like, you need VE. You need the Empress hairpin. I was like, again, I don't care about thief. I don't need that gear. I'll just buy the gear. I get up to about 30, 37, 38, and then I'm like, man, I need thief sub job. And then I started leveling thief, and I was like, man, I could really use some bounding boots. I could really use a VE. So I'm like, I'm gonna go out to the dunes. I go out there. It's like, hey Drixel, I'm out here now. I'd love to be able to have some assistance camping this NM. He's like, yeah. Remember that time I asked you about 2 months ago to come out and help me, and you said no? I was like, yeah. He's like, no, I'm not coming out and help you. So I spent 5 IRL days. I would log into the dunes and log out in the dunes trying. I was like 0-7 after 5 days. So I wasn't very good at claiming. And eventually my birthday came. And on my birthday, I logged in Final Fantasy 11. I was like, Drixel, it's my real birthday, IRL. Come out here and help me. He's like, all right, but I'm bringing my mule as well. I was like, more the merrier. Bring you and your mule. So he dual boxing came out. So all 3 of us are positioned. It pops. He grabs claim. And I run over there and I'm killing it. And it finally dies and it drops the hairpin. I'm like, holy God, I can leave the dunes. My first NM drop, it's the hairpin on here. He's like, hey, congratulations. I lot 780. He passes on Drixel. His mule lots a 900, takes it, and he logs out.
Oh.
I call him in real life. And I was like, and I left him angry voicemails because he wasn't about to answer his phone. I was like, you mother, and I'm just going off on him. About a week later, I'm running through Juno, and I'm still pissed because it was my birthday. I'm running through Juno. I see his mule standing there, completely naked, bazaar above it. I was like, okay, what is he selling? It looks like he's got his mule cheering here AFK. I click on it. His mule is wearing nothing but the hairpin, and the bazaar comment says, happy birthday, DA.
Wow. Did you ever wind up getting the
Ow.
hairpin or not?
Yeah, I eventually got the hairpin. Yeah, I went back out there and
I
I
mean,
stayed for
he
another.
never gave it to you.
No, it was Rare EX from the
Right.
in the dunes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, because that was after the
Yeah.
the Empress hairpin.
Yes, that one. So
Okay.
when it dropped and he lotted, it was basically a finger to me for not helping him originally. And then I see his character in the in Juno chilling, just with it on there, the bizarre comment of "Happy Birthday, DA." And I was again, I logged out. I was pissed for another 3 days. Eventually, he hopped on. It was like mid-December. My birthday's towards the end of November. But mid-December, he logged on. He's like, hey, let's go get it. That was funny as hell, though. And he left that bizarre comment for years because he knew every time I saw it, I'd just be pissed. So that was my first NM drop. It didn't come to me, but I was there to get the claim, watch it drop, and then just get absolutely shit on.
Wait, you're friends with this person still?
Yeah, he lives like 15 minutes from me.
Oh,
I could have drove over to his
damn.
house. Yeah. We've been friends for 15 years now. So that's just Drexel for you. But again, I was kind of an ass when he was like, hey, come claim it. We can get these drops together. I was like, no, man, I'm going to focus on leveling. And then I came back around like, okay, you were right. And he's like, nah, learn your lesson.
So I have a similar story. So not too long ago, maybe a week or two, we're in C. And in order to get into Limbus, you have to kill one of those flower things, the UV flowers, right? To get the key item to get in. It's like a white card or a red card or a black card or whatever. Part of C is you have to collect certain mobs' organs, and you turn them into this dude who gives you like an earring or whatever you're collecting for, and then you can trade in other things like the cape and whatever that you need, but only after you trade in the organs to get the first thing done. So I need 5 flower organs, right? I'm 3 of 5, and we're out there. It's me and 4 people that are in our link shell and my girlfriend, and we're in the party. And she's a black mage and I'm a summoner, and she needs flower organs too.
Mhm.
So we're out there, a flower organ drops, and we all roll on it. I got the high roll, and I'm like, fuck yeah, once I get this, I'll only need 1 more, blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't wait. I'm really excited. Win the lot. She has the second highest lot. And this bitch warps me. Like, I wasn't paying any attention. I did not see it get cast on me. I did not see it coming. And she fucking legitimately warped to me. And like told everyone, and everyone was just like, that was so, I can't believe you did that, but good move. I can't believe you did that. Nice work. So that I got fucked recently by the person I live with and love and spend all of my days with.
What is she, like 1 of 5 now?
Yeah.
I think of the Key of Gill skit. It's bitch.
Right. I couldn't even. Oh, I was so mad.
We've seen like one of those
That's-
organs in all of our sea escapades with my small group.
They drop so infrequently. It's ridiculous.
That's funny, man.
That's freaking hilarious. Is what that is.
All right.
Well, we usually, towards the end of every episode, we do a little thing called Glitch Fest. And I know that Quetch has something for this.
So it's related to a recent patch thing they wrote on the in the Discord. So they're going to be patching the Shikari XYZ fight this Friday. Now, I would recommend people just hold off on doing that fight until after this patch, because basically the glitch that exists is once you've finished COP, you can refight the Shikaris, the 3 Mithrin trackers. And you have to get a letter from an NPC in Tavnasian Safehold, and then you take that letter to Ottawa Chasm to the Boneyard Gully. And the first time you get the letter, you have to fight Shikari, 2 of the Shikaris, and you have to defeat them. And then you have the ability to go get another letter, and then you can go back out and fight all 3 at the same time. So the 3 fight is the one you want to be doing because that's the one that drops loot, and it drops X's knife. So X, Y, and Z are the 3 Shikaris. X's knife is very good for thief, and I've been trying to get
why
it.
were you out there getting? What were you
Yes.
looking for, Quetch? Could it be X's knife?
So here's the problem, and my first 2 times going out and doing this. Oh, one important piece of information here. The fight against all 3 Shikaris can only be done once per conquest tally. So once a week, yeah. And you have to hope, like, there's a low chance one of the weapons drops, and you have to hope for the weapon you're looking for, right? So my first time out there, we defeated the 2 Shikaris, we went back and got the letter, we went back out to fight it, and you could not engage. So there's the 3 Shikaris, one's a Dragoon, so it has a dragon pet, one's a Beastmaster, so it has a rabbit. 3 or 4 of the mobs in the BC were not fightable. You just couldn't engage them, you couldn't cast on them, you couldn't create aggro on them in any way, and you just had to wait for the BC to time out or warp out of there. So my first 2 times attempting that fight were glitched like that. I couldn't fight anything. So that's like 2 weeks. So the 3rd week rolls by, and someone in my link shell mentions that the thing they've been doing is breaking party in Boneyard Gully, reforming the party, and then going into the fight. And they've been having success. So that actually worked for me. The 3rd week, we did get the win, and we got a trident. I still haven't seen the X's knife. I'm still working on it. But that brings up something in general we've been doing, because it's also helped. I believe it's helped for Limbus. So going into Limbus, we've had a couple of times where we'll enter, and one person can't cast on anybody. They can't be casted on, or there's light activities they can do. They can cast on themselves. But then, we have to do a GM call and get the GM involved and stuff like that. Since we've been breaking parties prior to going into, well, honestly, it's the COP, BCNMs all around that have given us these issues the most. And then reforming parties before going in, we haven't had any issues on anything. It could be in between, things were patched under the hood that fixed these various issues. But I would warn anybody specifically, again, wait till Friday for the patch on this one, but that helped me for the Shikari fight, and I just wanted to get word out.
Okay.
So, I mean, you guys have probably seen like glitched out alliances, stuff like that in the past. And another thing that we've kind of taken to doing is if we see we have a glitched alliance or a glitched party of any kind, /PCMD leave, and just have everybody leave the party that way and then reform it, because occasionally we've had issues where like somebody leaves the party and it crashes, or somebody joins the party and it crashes because we've got a bugged ally or a bugged party. So that's another quick tip. The other thing about the Shikari fight, and I'm just going to end this here, is I've now done it a total of 3 times. Once got the trident, once got some like decent money drop, like maybe 100K or so. The last time I did it, which was this like last Saturday, 0 drops. We opened a coffer at the end of a BCNM and received 0 drops. But it's just unlucky because that fight has like 6 loot pools of like a couple items each, and you can literally roll nothing in all 6 pools and just get nothing from that fight.
I thought they moved Kieran's drop rate of 0% over to your coffer.
It's historically
At the
accurate, by the
1.1.
way.
Okay.
That's what happened to me the first time I ran sheep and antlions clothing. We killed it and opened the chest and nothing dropped at all.
I'd be so pissed.
That's such a trek.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They do
So-
have a very slight glitch that goes into Quetches real quick, LTL.
Mm-hmm.
Last night I was in a party in the dunes, because, you know, I'm a scrub. And in the party, every time we'd engage a mob, the entire fight for 2 hours, it would go from red to purple, to red to purple, to red to purple, over and over and over. And it was only happening for me. It changed nothing. I could cast on it, I could attack it, I could do pretty much whatever I wanted. It just constantly looked like I was fighting someone else's claim. It was
A
really
6-man
weird.
party?
Yeah, 6-man.
That's so weird.
That's why I wanted to bring it up real quick, because you were saying like alliance party issues.
Mm-hmm.
But that happened last night. It was just sitting there going from red claim to purple somebody else. Red, purple, red, purple, red, purple. It was a very strange occurrence.
A strange occurrence indeed, my friend. Yeah, the only thing that I've noticed or that I've had issues with is, and I don't know if it's one of my settings or something, but if I'm out in an alliance and we're doing something, whatever it is, Sky, Sea, H&M camp, whatever, and it seems like if I'm out there, if we have like all 3 parties like are active in the alliance, and we're there for a while, and it happens a lot. Like I can guarantee that it'll happen every time after I run Dynamis. When I leave Dynamis, like when the timer runs out and it puts me back outside, I will 96% of the time get loaded into the black screen void, where I can still move the camera around and like I can see myself and other people, but everything else is black screen. If I like move, if I try to move or like do anything like that, the game will hard lock and close on me. But it happens every time. And it, like, even if I have somebody warp me after that, like, you know, if I'm still standing there in the void, like maybe it'll fix itself if I warp myself. No, I'll just load in Juno with a black screen as well. I remember when we were talking to Eric last time, he mentioned that he thinks that it's because it was built or it runs on Linux. I just hope that they could get that shit figured out, because that's really frustrating and annoying.
It's better that it happens after the event than going into it.
Yeah, I agree. That would cause some serious heartache and heartbreak. But the other bug is so I don't know if you guys are familiar with the quest line or the fights called Waking the Beast. After you beat the first round of avatars and you get to a certain level, you can go talk to Carbuncle. And Carbuncle is all like, hey, you're awesome. Here, have this thing called the Rainbow Resonator. And you take the Rainbow Resonator and you can go back to each one of the different cloisters. And there's a new option called Waking the Beast. And when you go into Waking the Beast, it's like a infinitely harder version of the avatar that spawns with like 4 like elementals around it. So like, you know, Ifrit would have like 4 fire elementals, and like you can kill them, but they spawn right back like 2 seconds later. So we get through all of those and do the Carbuncle fight, because the end, instead of Fenrir, it's Carbuncle. And so the way that it works is like you fight Carbuncle, you get him to 75%, he fucks off, and then summons like Ramu. I don't know exactly which one it is. I know that it's scripted, but like Ramu comes, so you have to like kill Ramu. He uses Astral Flow at some point, and then once Ramu's dead, Carbuncle pops back up, and he's at 75%. But if you don't start hitting him, he'll like regen super, super fast. So, anyways, you get him 75%, you kill Ramu or whatever, you go back to engaging Carbuncle, get him to 50%, he fucks off again, and then 2 avatars pop out. Garuda and Shiva, I believe. And then you kill them, they both Astral Flow, and then Carby pops back up, you get him to 25%, he fucks off again, and this time 3 avatars appear. Right?
Holy
You have to
cow.
kill all 3 of them. They all astral flow, and then once they're gone, Carby pops back up, and then when he pops back up after you kill the 3, it's 5 Carbys. Okay, it's 5 carbuncles. They're all at 25% health, but that regen is a thing. So you have to like scramble, engage them immediately, and like try to take them out. But they do healing ruby too. Like they spam it almost. So like 4,000 HP back, 5,000 HP back. So like you have to kill it fast. Anyways, we go through all this trouble. We beat the fight, and it drops absolutely nothing, which, you know, sucks because, like, you know, there's like Carby Mitts 2.0. I forget what they're called. They reduce casting time for your avatar, and at the same time, they add a regen effect to Healing Ruby 2 or Shining Ruby. I forget. I think it's Healing Ruby. Or, so, like, where, you know, Carby would do an AoE heal when you use that ability. With these gloves on, it gives an AoE regen in addition to
wow.
it. So that's kind of like a good reason to do this. And like back in retail, I think one of the metas was that a white mage / summoner would want to have these things so that like they could cast Carby and then do the healing ruby or whatever to get a heal and to also have like the AoE regen. Anyways, so nothing dropped and that sucked. But at the end of the fight, regardless, you're supposed to get a KI, right? You get the key item so that you can like, and then you beat the fight. There's a weird little cutscene. You get to choose whether you give Carby the ruby or not, and depending on that, you get a different title. But you only get that title once you get the KI and you go back to Carby and turn in the KI. We got no KI, and we had no warning that we wouldn't get a KI, so we put in a ticket. And the response to the ticket was, "It's broken, get fucked." Like, basically, that was it. Like, that was the response. "Sorry, this fight is broken. Nothing we can do for you, get fucked." So like that was a bug that I ran into recently that was beyond frustrating. So yeah, forgot about that one, but I'm glad I remembered.
That was the GM response to the Shikari fight too. Is like, we're looking into it, but we can't help you. We're not gonna like refund your KI and have you try this thing again because it could just happen again, and that's just gonna eat a GM's time. Like there was no recourse. So hopefully they get to yours.
For us if they could have just like given us the key item, like okay, here's the key item. Like you didn't get any loot, which sucked, but we you know we can deal with that. But yeah, and the gear that drops is like pretty decent. But the caveat to all of the gear, if I'm not mistaken, is that in order for it to reach its full potential, like there's a dagger, there's a sword, there's all kinds of stuff. In order for it to reach its full potential, a summoner has to be in your party and has to have that avatar out that correlates with that item in order for it to actually give you the benefit on the item. Yeah. Look into it.
I'm going to look into this now that
cool.
you brought it up. This is really cool stuff.
It's a cool fight. That's all I got.
I got nothing as detailed as all of you. I just ran into a couple missions where everything locked. I took a screenshot and it progressed. So just a heads up, if your screen locks during a cutscene, screenshot. Sometimes it'll let you through.
Yeah, print screen does work for that. That's a known workaround for a lot of positions.
Just want to say I can vouch for it specifically. Mm-hmm. So nothing like you guys.
It's much better than, logging out or closing the game and having to go back through the cutscene.
I did it 3 times before I tried print screen. My Twitch chat was like, "Hey, yo, try print screen." I was like, yeah, okay. Click. Oh, thank you so much, chat. I appreciate that. So
the perks sometimes of being a streamer is that other people see you're stupid. And you're like,
they watch me be stupid 3 times. We started this episode with me being dumb. Let's continue.
So does anybody else have anything else they wanted to bring up or
no? Just wanted to thank Eric again for his time last week. That was such an amazing interview. And, above and beyond all of that, thank you so much for posting in the Discord. I'm sure you've seen, if you're listening to this, Eric, that helped us gain tons of traction. It was seen by so many people, and that really meant a lot to us. So thank you for your time. And we really look forward to having you back in the future. We're really excited to have you back when you want to come do that technical talk with us. We're really excited about that.
Yes.
And also, at least me and LTL are very excited about the technical talk.
I'm super stoked about the technical talk. The other thing I want to mention is, don't forget, guys, we do have a Discord. Make sure you're joining our Discord. The information about that will be in the comments or in the description of the podcast, wherever you're watching or listening from. Make sure you join the Discord, get in on the conversation, and we will be opening up questions that you can write down that we will ask our future interviewees. So, thank you, everyone.
Perfect.
Gonna close us out,
I didn't want to close. Yeah. Close. Don't forget to edit this. Make a note. Oh, no, you know what? Fuck it. Don't edit it.
Oh,
No, leave it.
Don't edit. Leave this one. Come on, Cal.
well, so my initial intention was, okay, anybody else have any more glitches? And then I was going to go into and another big thank you to Eric for coming on the podcast last time.
I stole your thunder. I'm sorry.
And then after that was going to be the Discord plug.
I just
Keep it all in.
Thunder.
LTL's still on a roll from the last host.
This bold
Well,
man.
I didn't know if he was going to say that. We didn't discuss what was going to be said at the end, so I wanted to make sure that those things got said. So, fuck me, right? Sorry.
So I want to again thank everybody for tuning in for the 5th episode of our podcast. We're already on 5, and we will catch you guys in La Thane. So have a good one.
See ya on the flippity flip.
Peace out.
Adios.